Hi guys, I'm just about finished building my carrier. I just wanted to make a video to kind of show how it works because it's a really complex build and I imagine people are going to break it if they don't know how to use it, which would suck. It's more fun if you know how to play with your toys when you get them. So here we go. Ready? Alright, so here's the ship. We already know about the exterior from the tour video. I'm not going to go over it again. I did paint it a little bit more, but it's whatever. So let's go straight into the how to use the ship. So we're going to start here at the command bridge. Just as you enter, you'll remember that we have um, stations on either side here. The stations there, and then the stations over here. Those are command stations, and then up here we have like the commander's station, and up there on that platform is the ship driver station. So I'm going to start here with the command station. So the idea behind the command station is that the commander of the ship is going to call out orders to the people on the stations on either side here, and also the ship driver. He's the guy who commands the ship. He tells it where to go, and then the other people control, different operations of the ship and actually where it goes. So, on the command station, we have one of the new helm blocks. This helm block does not actually drive the ship. That's important to note because don't want to hop on there and be like, why isn't my ship moving? No, the only thing that will drive the ship is the ship driver's station, and that's the one on the platform up there. And we'll go and look at the ship driver station in a minute. So on this commander's station, we have this set up, and then we also have these buttons on the side of the command terminal. The buttons, we have a bunch of different really useful commands that we can issue. Got that red alert, we got the mute, cancel red alert, deploy decoys, jump drive recharge mode. That's for after you jump. That'll make it so that the jump drive recharge is not using up all of the reactor capacity, even though it still uses up most of it. Anti-air turrets, lock, unlock. This is for like when you're moving. I used Whiplash's new turret control script, which is really useful actually. It's one of the best scripts I've ever seen. And we don't really need to lock and unlock the turrets, but if you happen to ever turn off the auto reset, which is that turret control script, then you might want to lock or unlock the railguns when you're moving around. Okay, and then the controls inside of the actual helm itself are the same as the buttons. So there's 2 pages of controls. You'll just have to press the G menu and go through them on your own leisure to get familiar with the controls, but they're all there. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and go down here. So our first station here is the hangar control station. We have a bunch of controls set up here. I went ahead and just put them here. So the point of this station is to launch fighters from the hangar. So you'll be able to control different sides of the ship. Now you'll looking at the outside of the ship. So we have the port side, which is the left side of the ship, and the starboard side, which is the right side of the ship, right? And so looking at this, we have different pages to control different sides of the ship. So all of the fighters on the port side of the ship are going to be controlled on page 1 commands. All the fighters on the starboard side of the ship will be controlled with page 2 commands. Then, so we have the launch fighters. We can launch individual fighters with 1 through 6, and then number 8 launches all the port side or all the starboard side fighters on either page, and then number 9 launches all the fighters on both pages. All right, it's pretty simple. So if we were to launch fighter 1, for example, we press 1, and we look at the port side. It'll take a minute to launch everything, but eventually you'll notice that the number 1, which is the one on the bottom right here, I think will open and you can launch a fighter. Yeah, there it goes. It's opening there. So the fighter's ready to launch as soon as the doors are open. Now, if the fighter does not launch, the door will automatically close after 2 minutes. I think there's a 2-minute timer on there that will cancel the launch sequence if nothing happens. Otherwise, it'll close all the doors and stuff after the fighter launches. All right, let's move on from there. So we have our ship status station. So the ship status, if we get damaged during combat, it'll tell you the damage readouts from the main systems of the ship. This is using M Master's LCD script, so it automatically updates any damage that comes. Also, after the combat, you can activate the projector, the repair projector that the ship is equipped with by pressing the 1 key on this terminal. That's really all this one does. So you can call out different damages and stuff to the commander. All right. Over here we have our weapon coordination station. So this one's a little bit complex. We have our targeting information screen, but there are also multiple pages of targeting. All right, so the first page is going to be port side and starboard side main cannons, right? We have the artillery and assault cannons for the port side here, and then starboard side artillery and port cannons again. And then here we have a timer block which allows all of the turrets on the port side to attack the locked target, and all of the turrets on the starboard side to attack the locked target. It's important to only attack targets that you've locked off of those starboard or port side bows. If you do not do that, or if you attack a target on the port side, say with the starboard side weapons, then it's possible that the turrets will shoot the ship itself and damage it, and that sucks. So don't do that. All right. Page 2 is the periscope control terminal. So periscope more matches the torpedo console, which is the next station we're going to look at here. But the periscope, I figured that I would put a control for it on the weapons coordination station, because this station can then help track targets while the torpedo guy is launching torpedoes at targets. So it makes it kind of useful. So we have on the first things we have the bottom periscope, extend and retract, and then control. Then top periscope, extend and retract and control. And then these two buttons here, 8 and 9, are for copying target. That doesn't really work very close range. I think it's only like 800 meters, which is not bad. You know, it's pretty good if you need to. If the enemy ship gets pretty close, then it's useful. All right. Last page is individual railgun control. So if you're up on the ship here, if you want to attack one of the port side targets, or say the starboard side target, let's just lock this thing up over here and I'll show you what happens. So if we want to attack with just a single railgun, we'll use this page. Say railgun number 4. Now let's see, that one's going to turn and attack the target. Okay, got that nice little wobble there that I don't like very much. And, you know, I think it's not quite going to hit it, but whatever. So, the turrets here, I've set them up so that they only shoot at targets if they're at a 0-degree range. And it looks like that one's just below the 0-degree range, so it's not going to attack that. So say instead we want to attack that one up there. There we go. Number 4, we'll move the turret around. It's nice that it doesn't hit the turret in front of it. And hopefully it'll, there we go. Yeah, fired. All right. So now we want to attack with all of the port side cannons. We do number 7. Boom, 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 boom. That'll attack with both bottom and top. Obviously the bottom is a little bit shielded, so we can't really see it. But yeah, so those assault cannons are firing, and the other ones are firing as well. All right, this is good. I don't really have a button to stop firing, so it's just going to keep firing until the target's destroyed, or until the target is destroyed. Okay, I'm going to delete that so that we can stop the weapon fire here for a second. Oh, I'll have to go back into his. Okay. Ooh, breaking pieces off. As you can see, it's kind of a withering barrage. Kind of blows the shit out of stuff. I like how it punches through the ship. Man, okay. That's good. Gonna just exit out of that. Pieces of it still flying around everywhere. Okay, so next we have our torpedo control station. Now, this is kind of a nice little thing. So here I have all the controls written on the main screen here because it's kind of a complex station. This is probably the most complex station in the entire ship. So torpedo control terminal, this uses the I think it's Whiplash, WAM and LAMP scripts to fire torpedoes at locked targets. Now, the locked target does not correspond with the new Warfare 2 locking feature. So that target there is not the same as that target there. That target is locked through the periscope. So in order to extend the periscope, we're going to press 1, and then also we're going to extend it with 2. So those two extend the top and bottom periscope, all right? In order to retract, we'll push 3 and 4. As soon as you press 1 and 2, it'll automatically activate the turret block that is associated with it. So we're going to control the top scope. Let's just go ahead and control that, and then we'll actually let's do the top scope. So we'll do 5. Can move the scope around a little bit. Let's go ahead and look at one of our targets. Where are you? Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so we're going to zoom in here on the target, and then I'm going to press 9 to try and lock the target. Okay, this works with ray tracing. I don't really know how all of that works. So once that happens, we're going to come out here, look down at our terminal. We'll see that the target is locked. All right. Now this fire control screen is also displayed by the commander, so he knows which targets. No, not the commander. I'm sorry. It is by the ship driver station, so we know which targets are being locked, and he can kind of maneuver the ship to fire. All right, so now page 2, we have torpedo control. All right, so we're gonna, sorry, to lock the target is number 9, key 9 on page 1. So to lock, fire a torpedo, let's just fire torpedo 1. We're gonna press 1, and that'll automatically fire at the target that we just locked. I think we locked on the starboard side. So we're gonna just press 1, and we'll notice that the door opens, the missile itself welds together. It's not going to be loaded automatically as soon as you get the ship because there's too much wobble and too much clang. So I just made it so that it will weld and reload the chamber as it fires. So we're just going to press 1. You'll see the door opening there on the top left. That's one of the torpedo doors. As it's opening, it's also welding. Okay, then it will automatically move this thing up here and fire. See, now it's got the rocket engines coming on. Hopefully it disconnects properly. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so torpedo away. It is turning. I can't quite see up there. Maybe I can get out here. Yeah, so the torpedo's turning and automatically tracking enemy target. And it will track. The range on these torpedoes is a 5-kilometer locking range. And I think the torpedoes can fly and track farther than that. And it will just wham right into the side there. All right, these can get shot down, obviously. So a good way to do this is to, let's go back into the terminal here. All right, a good way to control evasion, or oh my God, I can't talk tonight. I'm sorry, I've been at work all day. So the good way to control the behavior of the torpedoes is to do page 3 here. I've just got several arguments set up on the programmable block that's we're using for the lamp script. So we can turn stealth mode on and off. That'll turn your antennas on the torpedoes on and off. And then we have evasion mode that makes it so that the torpedo flies in a spiral. We have retask torpedoes. So this makes it so that if you are destroying a ship, if it's totally dead, then you can lock another target and then retask the torpedoes that are already alive. If there are no more targets left on the field, then you can kill the torpedoes that are active and they will just explode spontaneously. All right, now that we're done fighting though, we're just going to go ahead and retract the scope. So I'm going to take down the top scope again, okay? Let's make sure that the bottom scope is, oh, the bottom scope is extended. You can kind of just see it right there. I'm going to retract the bottom as well. Oh, that's the extend. So let's press 3 and 4. I'm sorry about that weird buzzing. There. All right. Okay, so that's the torpedo control station. It's pretty complex, but you'll get the hang of it. All right. It looks like we don't have that target locked. I think it moved out of range. So, you know, like I said, it's going to take some getting used to it in order to get that under control there. So the next thing that we have here is the ship driver station. So the ship driver station is really complex, all right? Well, it's not that complex. It's not as complex as the torpedo station. So the ship drivers, what you have to know is that it's set up, first of all, with basic controls here. So we have, like if, say there's only one person manning the ship, which, God forbid, that would be the worst thing to happen to this carrier. But anyway, we have basic controls set up in the G menu here. We have jump drive. We have this here, the recharge control, so that it's not taking up all of the reactor capacity after you jump. This is the cruise control, so you can turn off the front thrusters after you are moving, so that you don't have to turn off the inertial dampeners to continue moving forward, but you can still maneuver from side to side. I find that's a really useful feature, and I put it in all of my builds pretty much. We have attack target port side, attack target starboard side, so that's pretty much the same as the weapon coordination station. Attacking, it'll assign all of the turrets, including the railgun turrets, to attack either port side or starboard side. And then number 6 is to deploy decoys. So that'll be with the decoy blocks that we have up on the top here. So these two doors, this one here, and then we also have some on the bottom here. Oh, that was fast. This one here and this one here. These have a projector inside with welders and a little gravity block, and it just welds up decoys and then ejects them from the ship. So if a ship, like a small ship or whatever, is just flying by, then it'll automatically attack those if it has a turret on it or whatever. Hopefully, that's kind of what I'm hoping here. You might have noticed there's a bunch of other decoys around the ship as well, so hopefully you'll be pretty well protected. It's a little periscope guy. Okay, let's go back into the station here. So, an important note here, when you are stationary, if the ship is not moving, convert it to a station. Just do it. Because I've been getting a lot of weird clang, and if you don't convert it to a station, you might randomly accelerate the entire ship, and it will take a long time to stop because it is massive. Again, the ship takes a long time to stop and to turn. When you're underway or in combat, then you can convert it back to a station. So remember how to do this. We just go to the info in the K menu and click convert to ship. It's in station right now because that's what I was doing. When you're in ship mode, it will cause some time dilation, and that's okay. So now notice that everything's working all right. We have our thrusters operating. I'm going to go ahead and just thrust for a second here. Sorry for the loud noise. And then see how slowly it accelerates? It's very slow to accelerate. And now we're going to decelerate and show you how slow it is to decelerate as well. It's a little bit slower because there aren't as many thrusters pointing forward. If we turn on the cruise control, you'll notice that the thrusters in the front facing forward shut off, so you can keep moving, but you can still turn the ship from side to side. Now, I say you can turn the ship, but honestly, it takes a long time to turn the ship. Okay, I'm going to start turning it now, and I'll show you just how long it takes. See how slowly it turns? You can kind of see it turning there. But it takes a long time. Now, my personal opinion and experience is that if you do broad, slow strokes with your mouse, it sounds kind of weird, I know, I'm sorry. Broad, slow strokes with your mouse, then it turns a little bit more rapidly than if you do really quick, rapid strokes with your mouse. All right. I'm going to go ahead and convert this back into a station, and we'll continue on here. Okay, we're good. Okay, it's a really quick thing to just convert it to a station. It makes everything so much easier, much more stable. All right. Remember that you have to be in ship mode when you jump. All right, you can't jump as a station. While you're in station mode, you can also activate your safe zone block, which means that you have a shield around you. You can shoot out of the shield, but nothing can damage you inside the shield. So it's a nice little thing to have if you have battle. But remember that it takes like 90 seconds or something to activate the shield, the safe zone. All right. Next thing to look at is our communication station. So this guy is kind of useless. There's nothing really on his control. We have control for the antennas really, and that's it. And then we also have on his screen, we just have a little communication that I kind of just made up. I don't really know what I'm doing here, but yeah, so uh, these are communications among the fleet. You can send messages to other dudes. You can control how wide the broadcast range is or how low it is. Looks like it's, I don't know, there might be some kind of script or something that's causing it to stick at 800 meters. That's okay. You can turn it on and off, and the broadcasting on and off as well. And that's so 3 and 4 will control broadcasting, 1 and 2 will control the actual um, antenna, and those antenna are on the front of the ship there, okay? Oh, it looks like 1 and 3 is on and off, and 2 and 4 is broadcasting on and off, okay? Good. Next is the navigation station. So this uses the M Masters LCD script. This will give you information about all the jump drives, and we also have in here uh, GPS coordinates for various different locations around the star system. So you can jump to like Earth or the Earth moon or Mars or the Mars moon, you know, etc. I'm not going to go through all of those, but you just enter in the, you can make a GPS coordinate, just do new, and then you can like copy the numbers there or just type them in here to X, Y, and Z. And then once you want to jump to those locations, you go to the K menu, type in, I'm going to hide most of the stuff here, jump. It's pretty easy to find. And so this here, you enter in the point you want to jump to. It's pretty easy. And then once you've done that, I already have the jump feature set up. Oh, I don't have it set up here. Okay, well, the jump drive primary, there we go. So this is going to jump. Okay, and then you can just jump the ship. It's pretty simple. The ship driver also has access to jump the ship. All right. Next, we have our power control station. So this one's pretty useful. It has the M Masters LCD script as well. It tells you what systems are using power currently. That's pretty useful. It tells you how much power is being used in the reactors right now. We have a total of 1.5 gigawatts with 5 reactors. So if something is drawing too much power, and you can see that in the reactors themselves, there's like a lot of power being used, then you can turn off different systems. We have them mapped here on the bottom. So number 1 will turn off the refineries. Number 2 will turn off the assemblers. Number 3 will turn off recharge for jump drive group 1. Number 4 will turn off recharge for jump drive group 2. It's just kind of more of a manual control for the recharge mode for when you jump. Number 5 will turn off the oxygen and hydrogen generators, which I have many of on the ship. And then number 6 is a more automated jump drive recharge control. That's the one we use on the button terminal up on the command station. All right, so lastly is our logistics control station, and this one is useless. It just tells you what we're low on, and then he calls it out to the captain and says, "Captain, we're low on silicone." And the captain goes, "Okay, deploy a mining ship," and a mining ship goes out to get some silicone, you know, whatever. All right, so that is pretty much the bridge control. Don't forget it, you know, decide which station you want to use and go for it. Okay, and we'll move on next to the hangar, I think.